Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So I want to pick up into this John 8:43. We're just gonna dive right into it. So Jesus says to them, after going back and forth about Father Abraham, and we have never been slaves to anybody, and our father, we're legitimate sons of Abraham. And Jesus is trying to tell them it's not about your natural father. That's honestly why we're in this mess. It's your natural father. And he says, why do you misunderstand what I say? It is because you are unable to hear. You cannot bear to listen. Your ears are shut. I loved the note in this in the Message translation. And it says the Aramaic translation of this verse says, why don't you receive my manifestation? Why, Jesus asked them, why don't you receive my manifestation? Which, if we were to try to connect all of those dots, if these Jews were to receive the manifestation of Jesus and what he's telling them, that being a son of Abraham is not enough, but you must be a son of God. So really, if they receive Jesus' manifestation as the Messiah, then they are admitting to that fallen state, and that their lineage and the pride that they have of being children of Abraham or sons of Abraham or the Israelite people or God's chosen people, all of those things which has been ingrained in them for so long, if they receive Jesus' manifestation as Messiah, then that means that what they had was not enough, and that a change must be made, right? That there really is a sin problem, that we can't just go to the temple, to the tabernacle on the Day of Atonement, and we receive a covering, from the sacrifices that the priest makes once a year. We receive a covering. But Jesus' manifestation as Messiah is no longer a covering. And one of my favorite verses, which I know that we have read and dug into in times past, but I want to hold my spot here in John 8, and I want to go to 1 John 3:8. And actually, we should read this over here too. I'm going to take both of my Bibles. That's how you study the Word. You look at the different translations and you dig into the the wording here. Okay. He says, why don't you receive my manifestation? And 1 John 3:8, and I'm going to read it in the Amplified first. It says, but he who commits sin, who practices evil doing, is of the devil and takes his character from the evil one. The devil has sinned, violated the divine law from the beginning. Here's the part I want you to hear. The reason that the Son of God was made manifest, visible, was to undo, destroy, loosen, and dissolve the works the devil has done. So that is restoring everything to its rightful place as God established it in the beginning. See, Adam is called the Son of God because in Genesis, when God says, let us make man in our own image and in our likeness, he creates Adam as a son, breathes his breath into Adam to give him life. He's a son. And then, of course, that free will, y'all. It's just, does that ever get you in trouble? Does your flesh ever get you in trouble? Like it did Adam. But, he chose another voice. And I found a note I was reading, just doing some digging, and the sin, I loved this definition, or of temptation. So the root of temptation is the same: to make life work apart from God. So it doesn't matter what specifically the temptation is over, whether it's one of those big things that we think about being tempted, or whether it's something smaller, our mind, or whatever arena then temptation may be. The root is the same, and that is to do it God's way or to do it our way. That's the root of the temptation. So there's only two ways. There's either his way or the not his way. And so where Adam fell into temptation, where he was tempted and submitted to the temptation, Jesus did not. And we'll pick up here tomorrow. I'll see you then. Bye, y'all.